So just imagine it's a Tuesday afternoon, you are walking across the street and you meet a stranger. You guys start a conversation. Through the conversation, you tell the stranger about your plans to study abroad and that you've been praying, you've applied for a few scholarships, and you really hope that God comes through for you, like you get some feedback. And a stranger asks you that, give me an amount, like a budget. How much are you considering for your studies? And then you are so quick to say $16,500. Probably that's because that's how much is on your iTwin that you have received, or that's because that is the cost of tuition listed on your program's website. But stating that amount is not a budget, because for we international students, I believe by now you should understand that we are bound by many conditions based on the country. Whenever you're asked about a budget, you should be thinking about things like how much you're going to pay for the rent, and this is based on the city that you live in or the country that you will be studying in. How much you'll be paying for food, how much you'll be paying for utilities and all of that, because you know you don't live in that country. So the school fees alone is not enough to make a budget. And mind you, not all programs or not all schools require that you should get a budget. For some schools, when you're applying for the programs, just on the application form, you could be receiving information like, are you interested in tuition waivers? Are you interested in some scholarships? Are you interested in assistantships and things like that? And it's not enough, or it's not appropriate. You just take a paper and then you write school fees, 20,500 or 19,000 pounds. Put money for feeding, $2,000, and that is it. You just write it in the scholarship letter. That is not enough. When you are asked to present a budget, it's just good that you could make it into a graph, you could make it into a pie chart, you could make it into anything, word, but just visualize it for them to see. Just don't write it as part of a lengthy essay. Make it a separate document. So let's put English aside. Basically, when you're asked about a budget is how much you need to fund your education, all the details that you need, okay? Whenever you're asked to present a budget, the first useful thing I think you should do is that you should consider the value of the scholarship or the value of the offer. Sometimes we are so quick whenever we go on the school's website to look for scholarships or to look for programs. Whenever we see this school has given out $210 million to international students in the past year, we are quick to think that that value is what will be given to us. No. At this point, I believe we would all appreciate that it is very important for us to contact grad coordinators or whoever is responsible for giving out this information. Unfortunately, we've been trained to be timid and not to ask so many questions, but asking questions, like I've always been stressing, is a very key component of the entire application process. You would have to ask questions. So you have to find out, how much are you giving to me? And they will tell you, we've been giving out 2,000 or 5,000. Then you will know how much you are requesting for. And trust me, when they say 5,000 and you request for 20,000, it doesn't mean you will not get it. You are likely to get it if you meet the requisite. But it doesn't mean they'll give you that value. If that is how much they have written down that they are giving to everybody else, they will give you that same amount. They will not give you more than that because you have requested more than that. I'll quickly use the Pure International Scholarship Budget to give a general overview or a template for a budget, so that next time whenever you are asked to present a budget, you would know what you are doing or how much you are presenting to the scheme or the organization which is asking you to, you know, present a budget. I understand that this Pure budget is overdue, but the Pure scholarship deadline is still on the 1st of March. So if you watch this video and you realize that you have to make some editing, quickly do it before you submit it. If you've already done it, it doesn't mean this is the standard or this is the best budget. No, it's just a template. So next time you can use it, or probably what you've done could also be right. And the budget could also be like the expenditure. Yes. So on the Pure budget, the first thing I put there is tuition, university fees, or medical insurance for 2 semesters. Remember that this is like a yearly thing, or most scholarships are based on for the year. If you're lucky enough, it could be for the entire period. If you're lucky enough, you could add your based on what the scholarship promises to give, you can add the cost of your air flights. You can add those things as part of your budget. And as we all know, the Pure scholarships give maximum of 12,500. Some people actually receive 10,000, others receive 11,000, 11,500, in that range. So you wouldn't get more than that. No, you wouldn't get more than that, but you receive within that range. So the first thing I put there was university fees, tuition fees, medical insurance for 2 semesters. You know, you just can't put 1 semester. It's a yearly thing. And because you are in school to study, I believe that the bill for the school fees should be on the top list, because that is your priority. That is why you have traveled to study. So if you're not able to pay your fees, how then do you even eat and do all the other basics, you know? So it's important that you show how much you need. And this can be found on your I-20. If it's not on the I-20, check your program's website. If you are still not convinced how much fees you need to pay, please check with your grad coordinator or the program coordinator and ask the coordinator, how much do I have to pay for this program before there are any surprises, okay? So that you can decide better on what you want to do. So you put in the amount there, and some states, if you're studying in America, for example, it's a requirement that you pay medical insurance, but the value of the medical insurance differ by state, like Illinois, Ohio, different Pennsylvania, different states pay different medical insurance for international students. So it's just really necessary that you have a fair idea of the amount, and then you put it there, so it all becomes part of the school fees. So you know that at the end of the academic year, this is how much money I'm giving to the school to keep me in the program, to keep me in the school. Of course, if you're in school, you have to eat. You have to eat. Like, you can't do without food. Okay, I can't do without food. If to know me is to know how well I like food. So you have to, I put there $2,500 because I'm like, this is a 10-month period. You know that the academic year starts from August till May, and the vacation period, you're kind of on your own. Okay, so the 9-month period between August till May, and then how much you are going to be eating. So I put there $2,500, which is like, let me say 10-month period. So every month you're going to spend $250 on food. If you eat too much, you have to know what to do. So that kind of average, I put this like the average cost. It's just a template, bear in mind. So $2,500, that was what I put there for food. It's important. You can't just go, just because you want to get a scholarship, you can't go and put there like $1,000 to show that you are a minimalist. Just be honest in the budget. Just don't underestimate, and please don't overestimate. Like, you need $5,000 for food. You're eating $500 every month for food. Well, probably, but just put yourself in the shoes of the average person and make your budget accordingly. The next thing I put there was electricity, because definitely you're going to pay electric bills, and for that I put there $400. I put $400. It could be more than that, but this is just like an average. During the winter it could go higher, during the summer it could come so low, so averagely $400. You can make yours in that kind of range, but definitely bear in mind that you might end up paying electricity bills. I also put the internet cost. If you have Wi-Fi in your home, you would have to pay for internet cost. So I put there $400 for that as well, based on your service provider and how much they are charging. So I put there $400. So if you think it suits your budget, or this is just like a template, so I'm giving you components of things that should be in your budget. So you have to pay for food, pay your lights, pay for internet, like you have to, things like that. Okay. And the next thing there on our budget is I put in there toiletries for 10 months, $500 for toiletries. Like, there are things that you need to keep up. And for clothing, you can't tell me you'll be wearing one clothes throughout the entire academic year. Like, yeah. So as and when probably you buy a shirt, you buy a trouser, you buy a jacket, all of those things for the 10 months. I put in there $400. Honestly, you can't be requesting for scholarship and you decide that you are asking the donor to give you $5,000 for scholarship. I don't think it's fair. Like, really, I don't think that's a realistic situation of a needy international student who needs money. You know, probably you can buy it elsewhere with your own money, but please don't put it in that you need like $3,000, $2,000 for clothing. You know, you can buy it yourself, but don't put in there. Put the money at where money is needed. Books and school supplies, I put in there $2,500. It could be more than that based on your program. For Easton, we're fortunate enough to have a school library where we could borrow some of the books that we need for the semester. So we didn't have to buy much books, but school supplies and for the books, some programs will require that you have to buy some books as part of the course requisite. So yeah, I put in there $2,500. There could be other things that you can add per your personal case or per your personal situation. So if you realize that you need some other things, this is the good place, because this is like the total expenditure, the things that you need. Okay, so based on the scholarship scheme, Pew does not sponsor your travels to conferences. It doesn't sponsor your air flights. Yes, and I think I forgot to add this thing. In my own case, I put in transportation, because based on where you live, and if you have a car, you have to buy fuel, you have to pay for your insurance, and car or transportation it's not a luxury. It's not a luxury. It's a need, especially if you have to go to school and get some things. It just makes life more comfortable. It's even comfortable. just it's for convenience. It's not a luxury. So feel free to add transportation to this part of the budget. So in total, I have here $32,000. This is how much I need to fund my tuition fees for the one academic year for my program in America. So have that in mind. It entails everything. So if you believe there are some important things I might have missed out but are of value to you, or I might have, probably you don't eat, probably as for you don't eat at all, so you can spend like $50 a day a month on food, but you have more value for clothing, you can adjust it to suit this budget. But for Pure, they would give you certain portions that with this $32,000, how do you, before the scholarship, how did you plan on raising the amount? So I know Pure will give you some sections, or even if it is not Pure and it is a different scholarship that you're applying to, you have to show these components as, so that you give them an overview that although I need 32,500, these are the ways I'm thinking of raising part of the money. Because for Pure, for example, if you show that you have zero money, you are very unlikely to get it, because they don't want the case where they are giving $12,500 and you'll not be able to top up the rest. That means you can't come and another person, you've also wasted someone else's chance. So rather see that you have something and it's like a top up. It's not to fund, because obviously $12,500 cannot fund your entire tuition for the year. So it's more of a top up. But if you have a scholarship where it's for the needy and they say they are giving, let's say, $40,000 or £30,000 for the academic year, then you know that even if you have £1,000 or you have zero, you are likely to still get it. If you have any confusion, the comment section is yours. Please ask me. So for the sources of income, first of all, I put the campus job into bracket 10 months and I put there $10,000. I put there $10,000 because you know that when you work, you'll be taxed. And campus jobs, honestly, they pay the minimum wage. So it's not so much. So I was thinking if you are paid 1,200, which it depends on the school, taxes will be deducted. So you end up taking home like 950. So yeah, things like that. So I put it in the budget like $10,000. That's how much you would need to be on to keep you going. Yeah. And then the next one also I put there is family expenses. Can do this in any scholarship. Some people are fortunate enough to receive money from their parents, receive money from their uncles, from their close relatives. You can put in there that your family members are willing to provide, let me say, $2,000 or $1,500. But over here I put in $3,500. If you're already working and your job is willing to pay $10,000 towards your tuition, feel free to put it there. That is a source of income. Your job or your current job is willing to pay $5,000. If you've already received some scholarship from your MP, from your district chief executive, from a minister, from any scheme at all, please show it there. It doesn't mean you not get a scholarship, or it doesn't mean they will conclude quickly that you already have funding. So the idea is to top up. It's not really to give you the whole money. This is for those who are doing PO. And then personal savings. So sometimes they would like to know how much you've personally saved. Probably you've said that you're working as a teacher, you're working as a nurse, or as a administrative assistant somewhere else. They would like to show, or they would like to see how much you have saved in terms of, let me say, if you've saved up to $1,000, probably in the last you said you've been working for 10 years. So they would like to see if you have like $1,000 or $2,000. They would not like to see, but if you have it, it's just good. So if you have like 2,000 saved, fair enough, you put it there. But I put here personal savings $3,000, and you see there's a section called loans. For loans, I put there $0 because obviously there are no loans. But if you have taken some loans, you should, and you don't have family finances, you can put 0 for family funds. You can put 0 for savings and put the loan $6,000. Probably you've secured an educational loan from your bank to help you go through the program. So you should please feel free and put it there as maybe $5,000, the value there. Just don't make it like a 0,000 and request the entire $32,000 from Pew. That's when it could be like a problem. I'm just thinking. Other sources of scholarship, I put in there $3,000. Yeah, I put in there $3,000 because I feel like probably you have like some 1,000 from International Student Office, some 200 from your, like things like that. But if you have none, please feel free and put it there, 0. So at the end of the day, the expected source of income is $18,500. So what this means is that I need $32,000 to fund my tuition, but on my own, I can raise 18,500. One, from the work I intend to do on campus. And mind you, you don't have to get a work before you can put it there. Definitely, no matter the country, you could get a job to do as per your visa. Most, like, I can't conclude because I don't have idea about all the immigration rules regarding international students in every country, but in most countries you can get something to do that can give you a minimum wage to fund. So as for that, it's a fixed it's a constant, like definitely you're going to get something to do. So, and then look at the other components, like if you have some family giving you something, 2,000, put it there. If you've saved $1,000, put it there. If you've received some loans from the bank, please feel free and put it there. Okay, don't be worried. Definitely, if you will definitely get through it. Okay, so just put something there, and then you tell them that on my own, I think I can get 18,000 on my own. I think so. These are expected sources. I'm thinking I receive them is different from I have received them. Okay, so you still don't have all of them, but I'm thinking I'll receive this amount. So I'm expecting $18,500, but I need 32,500. So the outstanding balance will be 13,500. And this is how much you are requesting Pew to help you with. And not just Pew, but every other scholarship. It's not just about, so you don't tell them you need 32,000 in total. I need 32,000 as my total cost of living, total cost of going through the program, to give me peace of mind, to give me financial liberation while I study and perform well. But I think that I can raise some amount from some sources amounting to this value. After that, that will still not be able to cover the entire tuition. So I would need some more money, to complete it, else I'll be struggling, and so I'm still financially handicapped. So please give me 13,500, or please give me 5,000, or please give me 20,000. So how much balance that you still have to pay? But for those of us who are doing the Pew scholarships and any other scholarships, I would always advise that ensure that the money that you need or the remaining balance that you have to top up is very close to how much you are given. So for this remaining balance, I put there 13,500. That's how much I need. So obviously they can give you 10,000, or like things like that. So that is with the budget today. And I really wanted us to have an idea of what a budget is, and that a budget is not just school fees. A budget entails everything else that you would need, like some of the things I have shown here in today's video. And if I forgot anything, please feel free to ask me about it. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free and ask me. And thanks for making time to always watch my videos. Like, come your way again next time. Bye.